Your proof is the poster in the girls' locker room, a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had... a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet, but I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think?
What?
In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder...
I can certainly follow your reason.
Huh?
Why would they go to all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girl. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way! And I can tell you what it—
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how—
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! Shoot!
Is it really? Could Chihiro really have gotten in?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong! No, I don't think she...
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrow. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just...
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room.
Okay then, I vote for Byaku.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think...
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what... There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right?
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about?
Well, to explain, why don't we take a little break from the trial?
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please...
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Huh? For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place.
I'd like you to examine the victim's body. Be sure to examine the entire...
Examine her.
No, wait.
It's probably...
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just... based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about? That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular...
Her entire body? What? This is...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible. This girl is
What?
a boy!
Ah, I see. So...
What?
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was... a guy?
Oh, what, you guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
Then he was a cross-dresser? Oh, no, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of... Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well... I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy. And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no... The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room, and the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So, Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but...
Well, I must admit, I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is a most titillating situation!
So now everything...
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned...
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya, but I think he might not actually be the killer after.
What? But aren't you the one who accused...
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe!
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Now then, if...
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What if...
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume?
I got it!
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but... Did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer! And only the killer!
No, that's wrong! I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose the rest of you had no idea.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night. right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag, and then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd. Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much, enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Oh, what a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No, you already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Who is it?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer. Focus on the details of these items.
Are you sure? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence?
What? You want to track down...
Even if we had the equipment.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences.
Easy for you to, but fine. Celeste.
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so...
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some...
Perhaps. Let's... First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
No, that's wrong! Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What?
When Celeste testified a few minutes... She never said anything about the jacket's color, so why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you? You just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was...
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial,
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color?
Because
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility! about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hand.
No, that can't be it. When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have...
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it. To put...
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from...
But why? What?
That's a good question. There was a certain... Maybe you and after...
Are you a...
No.
Did you... You've been up... What gives you the right... Yeah!
It's true. My...
That...
Well, this...
That's what my little...
Oh yeah, that reminds me.
Really?
Actually, you know,
Jeez, does your gun...
it happens to be an E.
Shoot! I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't...
You're right, they're totally water.
And yet, this one does for all your confidence.
How precise?
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Sure, maybe I let that slip. But I never told anyone what the...
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then...
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
Huh?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you,
Just tell us already.
oh well. I have a then allow me to make a special. When it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will. I flippin' knew it.
You knew it?
Yeah, 'cause I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach. It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were, that layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna,
Wow, interesting.
That is a mere.
Anyway, if you found then the killer must have been purposely.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness? They'd realize it was broken, of course. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa! Serious?
I think the one who may have taken their... Here's my answer! Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What?
Why? Why do you keep...
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy...
No, wait, hold on! You've got it all wrong! He would never kill! I don't accept this! Show me the proof! The actual...
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what
He says is correct. You broke your own.
In other words,
If Mondo, then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
No, that's wrong! Mondo, the handbook you have right now.
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with it. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's. Which would mean that the handbook.
But doesn't that violate the school reg?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, it's kind of a gray area, I admit. As such, I did.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch!
What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is...
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case? That way, everything will become... Here's exactly what happened. First, let's take a look back. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. With bag in hand, Chihiro... She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, which is why he was able to... Once inside, he met with someone there. And it seems like... And attacked. And that's where the... It was likely in the heat of the moment. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. Then, removing the bloody poster, and finally carrying a girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessary. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girl's locker room without much... And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of Byakuya discovered the body and decided... So, after he went and grabbed the extension cord from the... He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible. And around the same time that Byakuya, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the lab. And just as the killer expected, somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because And that's how it all Isn't that right, Mondo Arata?
Wait! No, where's your evidence? You need evidence! You need proof! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him! Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False!